Welcome to episode 8 of 5withFraze. Now, this episode is all about the power of putting things out there and communication, because this guest, something resonated with him from a last episode and he reached out to me and said he wanted to come on. So this person is a strength and conditioning coach, formerly with the SE Dons. Newly, this person has become a father to a lovely young boy, and he is a wicked human. So I give you Joe.
What's happening, bro?
Joe, how you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm good, man. Good day.
Good day, yeah. Trust me. You like the intro?
Yeah, it was good. You started a bit.
I know. I'm going to keep that one in, though. I'm going to keep
it. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's good.
Feeling good. Thanks for coming in on a Sunday.
Bro, thank you for inviting me back in.
So, obviously, we've made it happen from the coffee, which is beautiful.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I had to reach out. I liked what you was doing, and I thought, this period in my life, I thought, you know what? It'd be great to have a conversation with someone like yourself who's trying to do what you're trying to do and what I'm trying to do and whatnot. So I thought, yeah, I have to do this now.
Powerful. I'm looking forward to sharing it. But we start with some fun icebreakers.
All right.
Yeah, listen, you don't know these.
I didn't know. All right.
So the first one, okay, looking at animals. Yeah, this is where I go. Looking at animals, which one do you think would be the funniest if they could talk, and why? Yeah.
Ooh. What? What you? What? I don't know, brother. You're a rhino, but it all depends on the voice. I don't know.
Yeah, the deep voice, isn't it?
Yeah, well, maybe not like a high pitched rhino. You're like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. That would be a bad thing. I went meerkat. They just
but they chat on the advert.
You
know, compare the market or whatever.
Yeah. You know that? I swear there was like a documentary. Yeah, it's true. But I swear there was like a whole wildlife documentary on them. You know how they poke their head up? They look like they got some banter. I can't lie.
There you go.
Right. Question 2.
Yeah.
You're a what's it called? You're a superhero. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
What is your superpower, and what's the first thing you do with it?
I guess I thought about that one. You know, when you ask that one amongst friends, I don't know really. Time traveling's kind of tempting.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Maybe be invisible. That's kind of creepy, isn't it?
I wasn't gonna say it. I
don't know why I say that.
Justify it. What are you gonna do with it?
It's be creepy, innit? No, it's just always nice to know, like, all right, what are people really saying? What are people really thinking? Not in a paranoid way, but you could just get into the room of powerful people or whatever and be like, all right, what's actually really going on in this world? Because I think my last, God knows how many years has been like a venture of like, what are these people actually, what is their agenda? What are they really thinking? You know, that's not been an obsession, but it's been something I've looked into, and it'd be quite interesting to be like, right, this is you in your comfort zone with your friends. What's really going on? What's the truth, you know? I think that's in this day and age now. It's like, bro, what is even the truth, you know?
For sure.
What is a fact?
I'm flying.
Who, you're flying?
Yeah, I'm flying.
Yeah, flying's cool. That's
flying straight
easy.
to Turkey.
You could go somewhere better than that if you're flying.
It's true. Just drop off in Turkey, then go see the sights.
Yeah. Bro, maybe. Yeah. Flying would be cool.
Flying would be lit though, up in the clouds and shit.
You can do that without flying if you want.
You know, like I was gonna say the wind blowing in your hair, mate. It's not the case.
Taking a piss.
I'm moving mad.
You're moving mad.
There's no wind doing that, but yeah. Right, last one. Yeah,
go on.
This one is good.
I was here to get deep and meaningful. Now I'm thinking about.
Come on,
I'm
man.
nice. I'm joking.
Bare injuries.
I've got one.
Right. Would you rather always have hiccups?
Oh, fucking hell.
Or a sneeze that never like comes up?
They're both jarring.
They're a madness.
But the worst thing is they're both stopping what you're doing and saying. Because a sneeze, you're constantly like building into it. And then a hiccup is you just can't even talk. I actually get rattled by hiccups. And I'm like, why have I still got them? And then I hold my breath and I've still got them. And I'm like, no. Might. But sneeze never comes. It's mad because you just spend your life.
No, that feeling there.
Yeah. What would you go?
I'm taking the hiccups. I could live with it. I could live with that.
Yeah, but I might have to back you. It's a sore one.
The sneeze that don't come. Yeah, it's a good question, isn't it?
Not really.
You going with hiccups, yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with hiccups.
Right. How you feeling? Warm now?
I'm nice. I'm warm.
Good.
I'm warm.
All right, we're gonna get into the nitty gritty now.
Here we are.
So, question 1 is about a 24-hour period that you get to relive exactly as it is without changing anything. Tell me a little bit about the day and why you choose it.
I think anyone that's been through my situation would 100% agree, unless you've got multiple kids. But it was the 21st of September 2023. I made sure I got that date right, because my missus will be fuming if I got my son's birthday wrong. The birth of my son, brother. You got to do it. You got to do it multiple times, and it's just like a cocktail of emotions of like fear, wonder, you know, looking at your partner, hoping they're all right, they're going through it. It's kind of like a selfless moment where you're like, forget about me, this is all about you. Obviously, elation, like being the happiest you could ever be, emotional. But also the roller coaster of it. I know every single birth is different. I would like to say we was very fortunate. It didn't go to plan. When they tell you to write a birthing plan, don't do that, because you just build your hopes up and it doesn't happen, unless there are some very lucky people. And sometimes there is. I think the more experience, the more babies you have. And that first one is always just like, okay, you don't know what to expect. But even, you know, we went a bit off our birthing plan, but it was still as successful as possible. It was all natural, which is, I'm so proud of Holly. Like, she was amazing. She was so strong. And there's definitely moments where you can go, okay, this can go the other way. And when it all just happened, and then you see it and you're just like that is, and all my friends before were like, bro, I can't explain it to you. You've got to do it. And that's the best way I can explain it. It's unexplainable. You know what I mean? When you see it for the first time, you know, you're like, what? So,
what was the build up like as a man? Because I know obviously the women are carrying the child.
Yeah, I think you just, again, like I say, you know, you got to be selfless in a way of, you're doing this together, 100%. You're both in it. But she is the one that's going through the pregnancy. So it's a case of support. Try and make life as easy as possible. Try and do as much as possible. And then just reinforce how well she's doing. But it was just, it's a crazy experience. I guess, like, it's natural. You know, not everyone's situation is the same, but for me and Holly, we were ready, like we say as ready, but as ready as can be, and we knew we wanted to do it. So it's just like, we're just embracing it, you know. For her, at the beginning, it was sad. I guess for me now, I realise after what she meant, it's like you almost have to mourn your relationship with each other, because it's never going to be the same. But then you have your child, and it's the best thing in the world. But your own personal relationship. So I guess at first it was tough, and then you embrace it, and then it's magical, and then there's obviously all the sicknesses, morning sickness and mood swings or whatever, and it's just a case of just managing it as best you can, support, understand, and then go for it. And then near the end, it's that stage where the date they gave us, she was overdue by 2 weeks. So it's just, I just want this to happen. I want this to happen. But don't rush that bit either, because once it happens, you know. So that last bit was a little bit like, when's it going to happen? What are we going to do? But, you know, one thing we've learned is when that baby's ready to come, the baby will come, if that makes sense. So don't rush it. Don't feel the pressure of, sadly. You know, I'm not a medical professional, so don't take any medical advice from me. But sometimes I feel like the medical staff, they kind of want to get it over and done with, you know. And then they put that pressure on you, and that makes you tense, and then the birth doesn't always go as smooth as it could. I know people that do. I was a home birth, you know. So when you have that relaxing environment and there's not that pressure, and I know things can probably go a little smoother. And that's just because all of our friends have had babies around us, and everyone's story is different. And it seems to be it can be a stressful time, bruv. You know what I mean? But yeah, powerful.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm signing up for that one immediately.
No, not immediately. Not immediately. Life's long as well as short. You know, you got time. And the man, you get away with it a bit more, I suppose. And women should too. There's no pressure on that. You know what I mean? In this day and age, I think there's a lot of pressure for women to have babies early because there's all this fear about, keep yourself in good health. And what will be, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And what was it like after little man was born? Because I've heard
Crazy,
those
bro.
times are tough.
Yeah,
tough.
do you know what? It is. But you just roll with it. Like I said, me and Holly are in an amazing situation where we're just in a team. We're in it together, and it's just like, right, this is tough. I'll be honest, if you don't love your partner and you have a kid, I can understand why things don't go do you know what I mean? Because the stress levels, you know, the emotions, the hormones, everything is just on both sides. It's crazy, but it's the best. It's the biggest gift in the world, and we can't wait to do it again when the time's right, you know. It's the biggest blessing. I always say I've got clients that have got a lot of money, and I've got clients that have got a lot of kids, and I know who's the richer of the two. Do you know what I mean? When I look at it, the beauty of it is it's wonderful, you know. But again, no pressure. Everyone's different. That's just kind of my view on family. You know what I mean?
No, I hear you. My mum's gonna watch this and she's gonna be at my neck.
I like that guy. Listen to that guy. You should hang out with that guy more.
At my neck. My neck.
Listen, again, like I say, but then that's the rush of you thinking, I've got to do it. Bro, find the right person.
Of course.
There's nothing more magical than doing it with the right person and committing to that for life, you know?
No, of course. Where was little man in the hospital, yeah?
Yeah, Lewisham Hospital.
I was Lewisham Hospital.
Shout out you, man. I was Ladywell. I was born in Ladywell. So I was born around the corner from Lewisham Hospital. But at home. Yeah, they were great in there, you know. We think about home birth, I guess it's circumstances. Is this all running smooth? But yeah, we wanted the water birth and stuff as everyone does. But the situation was what it was. We made it happen. The nurse and staff were amazing. Fell out with them a few times, but that's I felt like that was my role because everything goes up in the air emotionally. And it's like, they want to get this baby out. They want to suggest certain drugs. And we had our plan. And like I say, Holly was amazing. She trusted me to enforce it. And she was very happy afterwards that we did that, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's crazy because then you go into the room upstairs and they're like, here's your baby. See you later. And now you just look at each other and you're like, what do we do? Literally, what do you do? You're it's madness, down, bro. You're just like, it's so precious. And you're like, oh, at night, you don't sleep. You're watching them. You're like, are they all right? Are they breathing? Yeah. What's going on? They're just in this little cocoon. Like, it's mad. And now it's just whatever. This guy's just ruling a roost. Do you know what I mean? And it's always, you always worry at the beginning, but it always seems to be all right. Yeah. Babies are strong. This guy hits his head like 10 times a day. And that's not bad parenting, by the way. This is on his own terms. He's a madman.
No, thank you for sharing.
Come on, bro.
Everything I see, it looks like you're both doing like a fantastic job.
Trying our hardest. That's all you can do. Lead with love and understanding and patience.
Question 2.
Go on.
Is you're allowed to go back to speak to a younger Joe, tell him one thing. Where do you go and what do you say?
See, that's a tough one because it's like my journey's been ups and downs, but I never really want to influence a new change in it, if that makes sense. Like I would never want to go back and say, well, don't do that, or you should do that better, or you should do that different, because my journey has led me to where I am. And even with all the hardship, I'm very happy with where I am and who I've met and all of my journey. So it's a case of like, all I would kind of do is go to moments in life and reinforce, don't worry. Do what you were thinking to do, wrong or right. You know, some of my biggest lessons have been from big mistakes and I would never take them back, you know. I'm not as cliche, no regrets. But to be fair, there's not much I regret. Do you know what I mean? And I hope I'll continue my life like that. Do you know what I mean? But it's just like a mental maturing of going, you know what, everything bad that happened, you accept it, you thank it, and then you move on from there, if that makes sense.
We will be coming back to a very similar theme later, but is there a specific moment where that reminder comes to mind where you need to give it?
I would say probably right now, really. Obviously, you know my situation. We'll talk about it with my injury, but it's just this reinforcing of just trust the system that you're going through, the plan, and just having that faith and belief that this will be all right, and you got to keep, even when you're like, oh, I'm done. No, it will be all right. It's gonna take time. This isn't a quick fix. But yeah, I think most of my mindset is around this same situation right now because it's so present. Obviously, it's so fresh.
It's a good one. We're gonna get there.
Yeah. Keep you lot waiting in anticipation.
Yeah. We'll come back to that because it's a good one. It's powerful.
Yeah.
So we'll put a pin in that one and come back to it.
Yeah.
But we'll go on to question 3 then, which is about power and strength and like what those words mean to you and how you feel you show them, you demonstrate them.
Yeah. So with them, I guess it's like different stages of your life. You graduate and they mean different things. Growing up as a kid, I would always look to my father. I was very lucky to have an amazing dad. And I looked at his kind of role model and said, okay, that's strength, that's power. He raises his family, loves his kids. He was strong to me then. He's weak to me now. But no, I'm joking. If you're ever watching this, Dad, not weak. But do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like that strong, kind of healthy, masculine character. And that meant a lot. And then it graduated to me becoming 18, 19, 20. And then looking at it as, okay, now I'm a young man. Strength and power came a lot for me physically, being healthy, being strong, able, working, like able to support yourself and your situation. And now, again, it just comes back to my current situation, which is it's nothing to do with those things. It's like all to do with mentality. You know, I am physically the weakest I've been in probably 10 years. And that's because I haven't trained for near enough 6 months, but not at all for about 6 weeks, 7 weeks. I'm down to 77 kilos. I tried to buy a tight jumper, so I look at now. I'm joking. Again, it's like an ego death. I've let go of that. Aesthetically, I've achieved nice things. I've done great things. I've squatted great weight. You know what I mean? I've done some great stuff physically, but now it's like, okay, strength and power is a mindset. You know what I mean? For me now, it's like, wow, it's nothing to do with how physically able I am. It's how well I can control my mind and my emotion. Do you know what I mean? And that is the be-all, end-all. And I think that will carry on now for the rest of my life. Like what I'm going through now is a game changer. It's the biggest blessing that is been crazy. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone. But at the same time, for me, it was a part of my journey. And I'm very grateful to it. Because it's just changed my mindset completely. And there'll be so many things I'm going to touch on later about how it's almost like a evolution for me to change to my next phase of getting out my physical and more into my mental and spiritual, if that were to make sense.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
And you touched on something that I would love to ask you about in relation to your dad and him showing the way, and you used the phrase like healthy masculinity.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I would love to know more about. Like, what did that look like to you?
I think it's forever present, you know. Shout out my sister. She's hopefully she watches this. She's a very strong female, feminist, and we like to debate all the time. Our relationship is more about debating than it is love, and we love each other dearly. But especially in this, I think this day and age, it's very present. The divide, and sadly, you know, between I wouldn't say men and women, because there's a lot of, for me, men and women are a team. Without a doubt, me and Holly display that. It's like we both have our roles in our relationship, and together it makes a complete package for our son. It makes a complete package. And the term toxic masculinity is like, for me, it's just like, there's just toxic humans. There's toxic humans, and there's always going to be toxic humans. And when we focus in on them, they can take up a big space. But I think there's a lot of good in this world. I think there's a lot of good men still in this world. I know there's a lot of bad men in this world, and they're doing a lot of bad things, but there are a lot of good role models if you tune into them, such as yourself, what you're doing right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it's just, but you know, my sister's been on to me. She wants me to start a podcast because she's like, there needs to be more vulnerable, but at the same time, because there's a real fine line between being vulnerable but also masculine. Do you know what I mean? But there's for me, I think we need masculine men in this world, 100%. Young men need masculine men in this world. And that's not to take away from a man that may have feminine traits, but it's just how you carry yourself. You're assured, how you want to look after your family, how you want to support your friends around you. Doesn't have to be financially, emotionally. You know, I feel very blessed. I come from a friendship group that we've never shied away from conversation. You know, we lean on each other when we need to. And I would say we're all pretty masculine. Do you know what I mean? In a way, it's not like, oh, this is an emotional, oh, you're being soft. Maybe sometimes, but that's whatever. But it's like, I feel very supported by a lot of my friends, and I hope I've been a support to them. I think from a young age, I've been quite a deep thinker, and I've been very vocal with that. I've been very blessed with the trade that I do, the people I've had in my life, the role models, the mentors, and they've always allowed me to be open. And I'm a very big talker, as you know, I waffle. So most people that know me like, yeah, that guy waffles. So I'm always talking is key, and I'm very blessed that me and my friends do that. But yeah, like my dad, he's not really of that cloth, let's just say. He's not a big talker. If I wanted to talk to him, he would always talk to me. But he's of the, right, let's get it done, draw a line under it, move on. And I've taken a lot from that as well. Do you know what I mean? I've kind of got the best from both my mum and my dad, a good mix. But I would say his masculinity was like a healthy, he went out, he worked, he supported, you could say old school or just normal, in my opinion. Like, I'm not saying all men should just go out and that's their sole role in a family to go out and support, but you know, he was always there for me and my sister, physically, mentally, financially, when need be, when we're growing up. Do you know what I mean? Always allowed us to kind of,
Showing up is invaluable.
The maddest thing, I'll tell a story if you don't mind. We used to play at school. We had a successful football team, if you know about Haberdashers Asnats Academy. Shout out Jackson Mootis and Daly that have been on here. We like to win trophies. But my dad turned up to every game, but he rode his bike and I held some banter for it. The guy would roll up in his spandex latex, not latex, that's a bit pause.
There's no pause on this show.
Sorry. But like bike suit, helmet on. The guy wouldn't even take the helmet off. Why not take your helmet off?
With the helmet off? Yeah.
He would come to every game, bro. We play in North London on a Wednesday afternoon, and he would be there. And he was always at the game. And there was a handful of dads that were there, you know, and that travelled around with our team. And it was a very nice team unit. You could see it. But he was always there. He would always come to my games until I got old enough, and then I started to get a bit bad behaviour on the pitch, and he said, I'm not coming to watch this, you fighting the ref and all the players and moaning. But he was always there, and that just like, I hope he knows, but that growing up, that means a lot to you. Do you know what I mean?
Of course,
like the little thing,
so
the
important.
consistency is the only thing that's important. So for me, that just little things like that, just, you know, he cared, someone that's watching you. You know, you see it so much now with like little kids are always looking out for their parent. Oh, are they at my thing? Are they at my event? And then you see them, they smile.
The face lights up. Yeah.
And that's all that
Powerful.
matters. And thankfully, because of that great lesson, I'll carry that on to my son's life. I'll always be there. And any other kids that I have, I think that's the most important thing, you know, just showing up.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
And you touched on something else that, like, I know I want to move on and hear this story. But what I've come to realize, you spoke about like how lucky you were in your friendship circle, the fact that you could show like all sides of you.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to know it, like to put it out there that loads of men don't have that space, you know, especially coming from where we come from. What I've realized, my social group when I was a lot younger, it wasn't the whole.
But did you ever try? Do you know what I mean? Or was it a front you on a wall you put yourself in sometimes where you're like, oh, I can't chat to my man about it. But did you ever just try? Because if you got a good friend, now this is where I say, if you got a good friend, they're going to listen and they're going to advise. It might not be the best advice. They might not be wise enough to give you that advice. But it's tough. It's just like, and if they're not willing to give you that time and they make fun or don't support, then that's not your friend, bro. And that's a great lesson.
Yeah, and
I know it's easy for me to
as an adult, but I'm talking, we're talking about a teen.
You're right.
And I remember, you know, this is a whole conversation for another day, but the whole "you're so light-skinned" was a big phrase back then. So it was like whenever I would show any kind of emotion, like,
I get that.
Oh, you're light-skinned. Stop being light-skinned. And I'm like, okay, right, like what
and
I'm
there's
learning.
an element of that they're trying to banter, and then there's an element where you actually shut down because of that comment.
Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like, I get it, it's banter and it's like, it's on trend and everyone's saying it. But what's actually happening is like, I'm expressing that, oh, I'm a bit sad or whatever it is. And like, I'm learning that I shouldn't express. But yeah, you're right. Like, you keep going, and as you get older, you learn that the right space for you, you show up as you and you're welcomed. But yeah, as a 14,
it's
15
tough,
year old,
you know.
yeah,
it's tough because I train young kids right now. and I train that some that they're all right, and they allow me to talk to them. And then sadly, I train some that, you know, no matter what I say to them from my, you know, I'm trying to give them experience and knowledge, and I was your age once and I can help you now as who I am.
They don't land.
It's not that. It's no matter what you say, they're in their own head, and I can talk to them for an hour once a week, but they're in their school 6 hours a day, 5 days a week, and they're surrounded by these other immature kids. And the difference now that we can't really relate to is the social media side of things, that they will get transfixed on watching other people's lives and putting their expectations to what other people are achieving. I'm a 30-year-old. I do that sometimes. I'm doing it right now with my situation, my injury, and I'm looking at my friends and other people I follow, and I'm like, oh, they're doing all this, they're doing all that, and it's putting pressure on me to recover or to feel away. And it's like, I even said, if like, I wouldn't say like my Insta's out and out work based, got my personal life, but you know, you can see the work I do pick up work from it. So for me to shut it down, I'm like, I'm not quite there yet. But I've thought about it recently, and I would encourage any young kid in school, if you're watching this, I don't know what your reach is like with the young kids, but hopefully listen. But it's just like, look, put the phones down, bro. Enjoy your life. It's tough, man. You just wanna hope your kids have good friends. And if they don't have the best, wisest friends, then you yourself as a parent are encouraging enough and have a good enough relationship where they'll actually listen to you. And they will one day. I always thought my parents used to tell me so much stuff, and I didn't listen at the time, but it's like they're planting seeds.
Yeah, for sure.
And then as I got older and more mature, the seeds dropped, and it made sense. And that will be something else I'll talk about with you. There was a moment where that dropped for me, and it was a powerful moment. And I was like, rah, you got to grow up, you know, and you got to listen to these things, and you got to take responsibility. But yeah, it's tough out there, man. It's just, you just got to hope everyone's got at least that one good friend around them, that support unit. But you know, nowadays there's a lot of support accessible on the internet. Reach out. There's a lot of these things. I see them advertised on other podcasts. I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. I think it's called BetterHelp. Shout out them. It's a free advertisement.
I see that all the time,
and there's an app, you know, for young kids. If you are accessing your phone, just talk. When you talk, bro, all I do is talk. And then I feel like there's a weight off my shoulder. I'll leave this podcast and I will feel like, wow.
Lighter.
I actually spoke about a lot of things today with someone that cares, giving me something back. Or even if you didn't you could stand there and just look at me for an hour and I could talk.
Sometimes it helps just to get out there, isn't it?
And I feel like, I've spoken, you know. So for anyone going through that, please just don't hold it in, you know. Don't hold it in. No point.
For sure. No, thank you. So,
or write it down.
Write it down. Yeah.
Or write it
I'm
down.
trying to get better at that. To
Do you know what I mean? Write stuff down. Again, it's another weight off your shoulders, you know.
Just some form of expression. Question 4, and I know that these are the good ones. That these are the ones that you can really dig your teeth into for you. But question 4 is about probably the biggest challenge that you faced so far in your 30 years.
Yeah.
What it looked like and how you are overcoming it.
So that's right now. That's what we've been talking about. I've been through many ups and downs, many challenges, but nothing for me was like what I've gone through in the last 6 months, let's say. It's been a complete depletion of physical health. But I'd like to say now I've got over the hump. I like to think I got over the hump. It's been a growth in mental health. And I've always been mentally strong, but this one really challenged me. So basically, in September, we were on holiday. I was driving a rental car, manual. Don't drive no manual cars. And
you need to save like €20. Is that why you got the manual?
No, they just give it to you. They're like, this car is similar to, and then you turn up there and you end up with an MG, whatever. Trying to get a nice 4x4 and end up with something else. And to be fair, I did clip. Well, no, I would have gone anyway. Don't be on me like that. I'll ball out, baby. No, I'm never tired like that. I don't know why I got with a manual. Sometimes it's nice to drive manual. I used to drive manual, but my left hip on this clutch, this whole holiday, I was like, bro, I need to get a scan. Something's not right. My hip is messed up. I've always had a tight hip. You were saying to me, hips is mad unless you look after it. I was the best way. I got a good friend. He does like sports physio treatments. He said you was like a sports car that's never had a service. So you do all this fancy stuff and you do all this performance stuff, but you never look after your body internally. I didn't stretch regularly, consistently. I didn't do a yoga. I got into ice bathing only just recently. Do you know what I mean? In a way, like it's a case of I didn't actually look after myself internally, as now I've learned, that is by all a part of the whole package that you must do for longevity. So I got a scan on my hip because I thought it was my hip, and I got one on my back because my osteo was like, get 2 images. The scans came back, and I had a herniated disc between my L4, L5, probably a very common injury. Mine seemed a little more severe with how it looked on the imaging. It was lateral, so it's coming out to the side, which caused a slight tilt at first, and then it was not so bad. But then I tried to, classic athlete, train around it, not address the problem, which is like a life lesson. Unless you address the real root of the problem, it's always going to come back. And it came back a bit. I had a real bad episode where it put me on my knees, bro. Like, put me on the floor. And I was finished for a weekend. I was on the strongest cocodamol, the strongest naproxen, diazepam, muscle relaxant, and somehow I snapped out of it. I got onto a different stage of a program. I started to do some different things, take another step back slightly, but still try to manage my body. I didn't want to lose my strength. I had dreams of what I wanted to achieve in the future. I wanted to get back to my running, and then it was a case of, eventually, I got away with it for about 4 more weeks. I was in good nick, feeling fine. I knew the problem was still there, but I thought it's healing slowly. Brother, this thing, just my whole body went, zoom, shifted, locked in. I tried to do what I could, and it was just pain. This was coming up to the Christmas period. I just stopped training altogether. There wasn't anything I could do that would help. And then over Christmas, it was just like strongest painkillers you could get. Naproxen, which is anti-inflammatory, strong. Some people say that's not strong if they're on some real strong stuff, but for me, do you know what I mean? I've gone from never consuming any kind of pharmaceutical drug. If you know me, I'm kind of like holistic as possible, but there was no getting away from this. This pain was crippling. I spent the whole of my Christmas feeling like a burden because I was just laying down, couldn't help out. Only just now I've started to pick my son up because I couldn't hold him. Do you know what I mean? Because of the offset weight would shift my back. And bro, I was crooked. You saw me 2 weeks ago and I was like, I'm nearly straight, but you could even see me to the side. And even today, I'm not fully straight, but I'm nearly there. And that's just been a case of just now, okay, over Christmas was kind of like, again, a blessing. It was very dark. That was where I was like, I'm done. I'm giving up. I'm going to have an operation, which was never in my plan. And that's why some people are like, why don't you just have the op? Because it's not as easy as that. It's very invasive. There's no set success from a back operation. Going into someone's spine is not ideal. It's probably very safe, so I would have had a nice surgeon that would have done it, and I'm sure it would have been successful, but then you still got to rehab it. And me being me, I'm like, I trust my body. My body's a beautiful machine, and I can do this naturally. I had that stubbornness from the beginning, and I was just like, at this point, now that's gone. Get me the injection. Luckily, my surgeon was on holiday. My osteo was on holiday. Everyone was enjoying their Christmas as they should be. I'm not their responsibility. And it led me to kind of seek some other advice. And again, Holly through this whole time has been my rock. I made a post at the beginning of this injury about her, and she's just shone even more post then, because she's had to do, imagine you're raising a 1-year-old and now you've got another 1-year-old basically. But I couldn't sit down. Like simple daily tasks. I couldn't walk. I physically couldn't walk. And this is someone that went from running 400 meters around the track, squatting 180 kilos 6 months before, feeling physically, I made a post like 7 months ago, best shape I've ever been in. I wasn't a big guy, I wasn't never that big, but I wasn't the 90 kilo, like whatever. But physically all around, I felt like my health was in great shape. I was watching what I ate. I was physically fit, fast, and strong all in one. And then boom, I'm on the floor. You know what I mean? Again, so it was my darkest hour, but I kept trying to think, I'm going to turn this to a positive. When this is over, sometimes when the drugs were kicking, I'll be like, ooh, hey, I feel great again. I tell you what, when I feel like this all the time and this pain's gone and I don't have to take the drugs to get here, I would never take anything for granted. And that's the truth. But yeah, I found another forms of support. I've still got all my support teams around me.
You've got a big team.
I've got a massive team. It sounds like I'm a professional athlete. I got I got my osteo, who's an amazing colleague who's always helped me throughout everything. Shout out Pure Form where I work, obviously. My guy, he's always there for me. He was there for me at the beginning. He was on call. He was communicating with Holly the first episode. he won't like me saying this. If he's listening to this, I did find myself a chiropractor, but not like everyone's like, no, shout out to chiropractors. I'm not calling you charlatans, but there are a lot out there that promise they can fix you, make you buy loads of sessions. You're a couple grand down and you're still in the same right at the end of it. I called this guy a charlatan as soon as I met him. He was like, whoa. But from that, we then ended up having an open conversation about actually what I wanted from him, which was, I just want someone to listen to me, give me some valued advice. Me and him actually aligned a lot. He was very into the spiritual side of things, of belief and positive affirmations and trust in your body, and your body can heal, which was great. And then he just does every so light manipulation, and once a week. And it's nice to see him because every week I see him, he sees my improvements over a week span. And it's just been useful over the last 4 weeks. It's been useful. He's not promising he's going to fix me. He's just part of my process. And then I found a company online that specialized in my exact injury. And they were like, right, you need to strip this all the way down. You're trying to do phase 2, 3, 4 exercises. You need to lay on the floor, bro. You need to learn how to stabilize, get strong in neutral, breathe. Stop doing all that stuff right now. You can do that, but right now, and that's like sometimes because I am or I've done what I've done, maybe some people look to me like, oh, Joe's here, let's get him back as fast as possible. Let's get him doing all this strength stuff. But actually, I just needed to strip. And that's kind of where I am, bro. I'm 4 weeks into the process. I'm off all painkillers for a whole week and a bit now. Not on nothing. I wouldn't say I'm pain-free, but I feel it a bit. I can walk, not the fastest. I can sit down, stand up. I'm here. Good luck me getting up after an hour on this chair. You might have to help me. Yeah, love. That's why I need you. But it's been mentally, it's been crazy, bro. It's been crazy. It's been a eye-opening experience.
I bet. Not being able to pick up your son.
Still to this day, like I kind of took him in and out of the car yesterday and stuff like that, and sometimes he's there like that, and he wants to pick up, but I'll just make my way down to him. It's not like I'm trying to deprive him of me. I'll just lay on the floor, which is sad because that's another thing. Like at this stage now where he's starting to do more things, I wanted him to see me doing press-ups and squats, and I can't do none of that around him. I actually spent the last, say 3-4 weeks ago, laying on the floor. So he would just come and lay next to me. He would emulate what I was doing and copy me, and he'd just lay next to me, and I'm like, in my soul going, this is sad, like, but this is where I'm at.
Still connection.
Yeah. I'll remind him of that one day and say you was good to your dad. You come lay next to him when he was don't want to misuse the term cripple, but that's I was unable to do much, but that's life, bruv. And trust me, this year I will get right. I'm on the right path, and I will show him some stuff. I've already put down some numbers in my 20s that I'll be like, right, you want to do some of the stuff I did, this is what I did, go beat me now. And the same for any of my kids. And I don't want to say physically I'm done. I don't want to say my journey's over with my fitness, because it's not, but maybe take the ego out of a bit. Do I need to squat 200 kilos again? Do I need to sprint and race? And I don't want to say that I'm done as in I don't want competition. I love competition as part of my life, but my mentor, who is an amazing man, I've had the blessing of working with him for 8 years. He was on the phone to me the other day, and he said, what do you think this moment's telling you? And I was giving it a classic, patience, gratitude. And he's like, no, I'm more personal, like about your process in life, like where's your next stage? Because he's been on to me for years about this, and he was like, do you feel like your body's kind of telling you to, like, every time you try and push to this elite level, it gives up on you, and maybe this wasn't your calling, and your calling for him has always been something deeper with me. He's like, the way your head works, the way you can use your mouth, and the way you can relate to people, that I think this might be time for you to step into that and lean into that and understand that, I wanted to be a professional footballer. I wanted to win a gold medal. I still want to achieve something great so I can stand on that podium and be like, wow, I've done this. But maybe that's just a time for me to accept that that wasn't my purpose. And that doesn't mean that sport isn't a part of my purpose, but it's just like maybe your calling is you help people. I've worked with people for 11 years. I've done my job for 11 years. I talk to many people every day, and it's like, actually, I get great enjoyment from working with people. I get great enjoyment from talking with you. You now yourself have gone on your journey where this is what you want to do, because you see the power in it of the mind and the voice.
For sure.
More than physical.
And before we move on, I think something that's very important to recognize is that you're making all this progress, and I'm so proud of you, and well done to being off the all the pain meds, and you're a lot straighter than when I last saw you. But it's taking a
with the
team,
bop
isn't
still.
it? Yeah. It's taking a team.
You said it to me the other day. It's a village, and the saying obviously is for kids. It takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to raise a grown-ass man,
This is what I'm
grown-ass
trying to
woman.
tell people, yeah, for sure.
It's a team effort, bro. And I said to Holly, if I didn't have you, I would have been. I don't know where I would have been. I'd had an operation. I would have given up. It was her just repeating and reiterating, and bro. It's a blessing. She's the biggest blessing in my life, as well as my son. She gave me my son, so she's the be all end all. She's the God. So she's she's helped me massively. And then with her internal support for me, it's allowed me to reach out to others who have now physically helped me. Do you know what I mean? So it's everyone's come together, man. Everyone, and that's when you realize who you got around you, And I'm very grateful. Like I say, it's been a blessing. It's been a worse blessing, but it's been the best blessing. Very painful, but very enlightening.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that leads us quite nicely into question 5, which is about like the biggest pivot in you, something that's completely changed how you think or feel. I think we've already kind of touched on it, but might need to lean into it a little bit more. What's been that moment, that light bulb?
So for me, you would think, now, and I would say now is like this is my new shedding of my skin. But there was a moment when I was 18 and I thought about this, and I thought that's when I remember me changing as a human was in that moment. Like I never got a pro contract with no football club, and I was never destined for that, like I said. But my dad wanted to give me an opportunity. I love football, and he said, look, there's a lot of kids out there that are getting these scholarships to America, We can go through this company, you trial, they like you, they film you, you get offers, let's do it. So I was doing that. Thankfully, I had a bit about me at least. I got a load of offers. I made a decision. At the age of 18, I left London to move to Oklahoma in America and start an adventure of university scholarship football. And I left the streets of Lewisham, London. I'm not going to quote it in any other way. Like, I was never a mad man, but I grew up quite young, at the age of 15, 16, 17. I was out and about, I was consuming substances and whatnot. And, as most kids probably do still now, like I was experimenting. I'm not trying to put anyone off. Like I said, I don't regret that part of my life. It taught me a lot. I had some great times, bro. But it was a moment where I was like, right, you're on your own in this country. Your dad's giving you an opportunity. He's gonna help fund it. The scholarship was obviously kind as well. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't like it is in London. And you got to make the most of this now. And it's like I got out there and I was just on my own. I was like, right, this is a time where you can reinvent yourself. And that's when I thought a lot of those seeds started to drop. Do you know what I mean, in a way?
Yeah.
And I started to remember all of my parents say, do you know what I mean? And I'd done a major in communications and I was very blessed. I feel very blessed. I met so many amazing people at the pivotal points in my life. Maybe I met you right now when I'm 30. Do you see what I mean? Like, you just don't know who's going to come in. And my communications teacher was like a mentor to me at the time. Old Oklahoman lady, like proper accent and that. And she saw something in me and she took me aside and she said, you've got like something here with how you are with people. I think you need to look into that more, and how you talk to people. I think you mismanage it a bit. I think you're a bit abrupt, a bit angry sometimes, and start to channel and go down this route and understand. And I think that year of my life, I did drop out. I didn't complete the degree. I decided to come back and try football again in the UK. But that year was just like, it changed my life forever. I just matured. I came back different. I learned what the gym was. I was probably as skinny as I am now before I went out. I learned everything. That probably gave me the foundation of me becoming who I did with the gym, because I'd never been in the gym before that, and all of a sudden I'm in the gym every day. I'm training every day, as they do over there. They regiment it. And it just made me become a young man, really, and just really go, right, I need to change from... And don't get me wrong, in my 20s, I've gone out, I've had fun, I've done crazy stuff, but it was always with a more matured understanding of, who I am, if that makes sense. So that was my moment.
How did you find it coming back into Lewisham?
Shout out Lewisham. Can I swear?
Of course you can.
Lewisham's a shithole, bro. But at the same time, it's where I'm from. I've spent 29 of my 30 years here, and it's made me who I am. So I'm very grateful to it. But I'm trying to get the hell out of here. for my family's sake. But just, you know, when I was growing up, it was different. But it's like, you just got, and it's not Lewisham. I've lived in Lewisham, but I worked in Beckenham, I worked in Bromley, I worked all around London or whatever. But it's just like, just the people are the same, everything was the same. It's kind of home. Like when I was in Oklahoma, I was out in the country, whereas Lewisham's a city. And that's what I think I missed a bit. I was a city boy. And now all I want to do is own a ranch in the middle of Montana and ride horses, bro. So it's like real, I had that and now I want it again. So it's just like, it was fine. It was fine. I just kind of wanted to come back home and be in my comfort zone again. I guess I wasn't ready to leave my comfort zone. I didn't have the support. Now I'd happily move anywhere in the world. I got my son, I got Holly. So it's just like, I'm nice. I can just reinvent because I've got all I need. Whereas then I didn't have family. I was through Skype every day. Do you know what I mean? So it's just like, I just came back and had to lock in. My dad was like, right, you come back here. You owe me money. You've messed up a whole year at university. You're paying rent. You need to go on an anger management course, and just started to shell down on me. And that's what I mean by like strong role model. Like it's not like it was easy with him. He didn't make my life easy. But he didn't make it hard. He done the right things. And he was just like, yeah, you need to go on this anger management course. And that was another pivotal moment where I actually learned to address talking. I spoke about things that had happened in my youth that were very powerful and made me hold on to a lot of emotions, and just got them off my chest. And then I kind of, again, changed from there. Had to go out and work. No one would employ me. Apparently, having all your GCSEs and A-levels in a year at uni don't count for nothing. They want you to have work experience. I ended up doing door-to-door sales, bro. Where I was knocking on people's doors for charities, which is the biggest con. Don't sign up to that. Just go direct, because we was making money, bro. We was going around. You'd get £30 a sign up. I looked at his sales until we started working with one charity called Sense, which was working with deaf and blind kids. And I was like, no, this ain't right. Like, this is hurting me. Like, I'm out here hustling because I want my own money, but I'm doing it for them, thinking, oh, yeah, I'm helping them. But really, I'm being selfish. I'm just trying to help my pocket. So the money I did make in the short period of time that I was working with them, I put it towards, I kept getting emails like, you should try be a trainer. You should try be a trainer. All your qualifications match up with you being a trainer. I said to my dad, I'm going to take some of this money and some of the money that I was gifted, and I want to try this PT thing. And again, now 11 years later, here I am.
Made a beautiful career out of it.
Brother, it's my life. I love it. It's my journey.
Sounds like a very interesting one.
Yeah.
Anger management, I didn't know you went there.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even say like I was mad, like maybe a bit. Like I wasn't out scrapping people. I was very internally angry, like hitting things. And yeah, we would get into fights growing up in Brown, local to here in Bromley and stuff like that. I'd roll around with a couple of my friends. We'd always look for the squabble. We were just doing dumb stuff. And I just think my dad thought I was very angry. And maybe I was. Like now I don't see, because maybe I had like a complete hypnotic experience where I forgot about that time in my life. I never thought I was too angry. But it was more like it was an anger management course. But it was a guy called Mike Fisher, who's probably like, if you know anger management, it's kind of renowned. Like it was out in the country. A proper retreat, bro. I was the youngest person there. I was 19 years old, and I'm in a room full of 30 and 40-year-olds that are going through emotional traumas of their life, and I'm there. But I had my own emotional traumas through my younger years. So it was just like, I think it was just a moment, and I came out of there learning how to just coping mechanisms and calming mechanisms. And you know, most people that know me for the last 10 years of my life would be like you said, I didn't know you had anger management, because that was a big weekend of my life, and I learned a lot, and thankfully I grew from that early doors, you know. And it's not to say I not have physical aggression, because I channel that through sport, I guess. But you see me on a football pitch, like I say, bro, I lose my head. That's why I don't do it no more. But yeah, man, it was a part of my journey. Every moment has been so valuable to who I am today. And I'm still not done yet. I'm nowhere near the person I want to be, you know, but I feel we're in a good place.
No, lovely to hear that. That's a good end. 2025 is going to be a year of growth, I feel like
everyone, man. Everyone I'm reaching out to, everyone that's reaching out to me, they're like, yeah, I need to do more, I need to do this. So that's why I reached out to you. I was like, I need to do more. I want to talk, you know.
Yeah, and your podcast is coming soon.
Well, I'm gonna try. Yeah. I really want to. Like that. Yeah. Let me not even say that. Why am I even down in it like that? What am I doing? Thank you, coach. It's coming soon. And it's more of this, like just talking about my experience, but with guests with their experience as you're doing. It's powerful, bro. When people hear two men or a man or a woman, doesn't matter. When people hear people talk, it frees them up to talk, and it frees them up to listen and learn, and it's the most powerful thing. I think this is the time of the podcast. And I always used to say, I've missed the boat. I wanted a podcast for years. One of my clients has been like, we need to do a podcast. And I've been like, I missed the boat. It won't be popular. But now I'm just like, you said it the best. You said, throw it at the wall.
Just throw it at the wall. Just do it.
See if it sticks.
If it's clean energy always wins, man.
We hope so, innit? Love always wins. I see you got that on your arm. That's like my one on my neck, bro.
Yeah,
it's above all anything.
No, it always wins. So thank you so much for coming on, Joe. We're at the end.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
I've enjoyed it. I have.
So we just end with a sign off.
Yeah.
So my mum's definitely going to be watching. I always say this. If one person's watching,
what
could you say to them?
Phraze's mum.
Yeah.
This isn't for you necessarily because you're a very well established lady. You've raised a great son. This is for them younger generations, I think.
But what could you say that could help one person's day get 1% better? Your sign off.
For me, the attitude's always been the same, and I figured this out maybe 5-6 years ago. I was like, I'm like a wave surfer. Like, I don't go out and chase things down to you. Some people are like, you gotta go and get it, and I'm like, whoa, that's quite a lot of pressure. I like to see things kind of make sense and come to me, and then I'll take them with both hands. But I was like, how did I even get to that? And it was like, do you know what I did? My attitude is, and this is what I encourage anyone to do, is wake up every day as early as possible, meet as many people as possible, talk to as many good people as possible, and opportunities will arise. You say it, anyone says it, consistency beats talent all the time. And I used to go to the gym when I was 19, 20 at 6 a.m. in the morning. I didn't have no clients. I pretended I did. But if I was there every morning, I'm going to meet someone that wants to train at 6 a.m. And then from there, it's like I go to work, and even now on my bad back, Dad's like, well, you going to go work? Or do you know what I mean? Like, he's more like, I'll make you right, you go to work. But like other people are like, right, you're working with your back. I have to go out there because these opportunities ain't going to find themselves if I'm sat at home or if I'm not doing enough in this world. So my attitude's always been train, work. And not in like work yourself to the ground, but be wise, work smart. But again, get a healthy lifestyle together. Wake up every day, as soon as possible, go out and be productive, get yourself to the gym, get yourself to work early, communicate with as many people as possible, don't spend all your day, and this is me telling myself, looking through Instagram or whatever, I'm not perfect, but just try and create opportunities, because do you know what I mean, in a way? And I guess that is me going out and getting it, but not forcing it, opportunities will arise when you work hard and you're consistent.
Clean energy always wins. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up
every single day.
Keep knocking at the door.
The door will open.
Thank you, my bro. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Looking forward to coming on yours.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna question the hell out of you.
I'm not used to being on the other side. Yeah.
Find out a bit about you. But yeah, thank you, bro. I really appreciate you.
Appreciate you too.
Appreciate everyone out there, man.
Shout out Holly. She sounds like a wicked human.
Bro, everyone find yourself a Holly, man. Patient lady. Beautiful lady. Great mum.
Beautiful. Right.
Some kids, bro.
Nah, cutting that out. My mum can't hear that. Episode 8.